and you said you love fights. Let's segue into the fights this weekend, which are going to be freaking phenomenal. Chris Weidman.
Yes,
I want to talk
Serra.
about the three fights, the three championship fights.
Yes.
Let's start with Thug Rose versus the champ Joanna. What do you think about that fight, really quick? And I'm going to ask you too, Jeff. I'm going to ask everybody.
I'm gonna say Joanna, but Thug Rose, she's like a gangster, man. She's tough as hell. She goes for everything. Like her instincts kick in. She's not afraid to do anything. When it comes to the jiu-jitsu,
her back take is amazing.
It. Yeah,
she takes the back like
when
a
she
champ.
choked out Karate Hottie or Hottie Karate, whatever.
Karate Hottie.
Yeah,
I love saying that.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
that was impressive.
And nobody and
but Joanna's like she's big and I
She's
feel
a-
like
she's a
timing
beast.
is amazing.
she's a little small of Rose. I feel like I think that might be. I feel like she's like a little weaker.
But a powerful jiu-jitsu based fighter is well-rounded. But Claudia Gadella, she got her down, and she was looking great for up to the third round, where you saw like or up the second round. I don't remember,
Towards
but
the end
you
of the
saw
second.
you saw her turn. But you in the beginning, I'm like, man, this girl's on point. She was taking her down, but Joanna is like, it's so hard to keep her on her back.
Yeah.
But in those transitions, if her exposing the back, that's what I'm looking at, because Thug Rose is so good at you show the back for a second, she's on it. She's that quick with it. And she has such a great rear naked,
But so
rear
you
naked
feel like
choke.
she has to get it down though to win.
But she has to get it down, but not keep her down.
Yeah.
If she gets her down, and in the process of getting back up, she exposes that back.
Yeah.
Thug Rose does have the skill
She's
to take
dangerous.
that back.
She's dangerous.
I mean, she's up there with the best of them. Up there with Aljo Sterling.
That's
love
right.
Aljo.
Oh, he's awesome
But he's
taking the back.
with those back takes. So I'm really interested
What's
to see
the girl Carolina? Whatever. What's the Polish?
Kava-
Another
Kova-
one. She had a close fight on the feet
Yep,
with
that
Joanna,
was it.
right? It was
Yeah.
pretty. It was pretty close. And Thug Rose, when she fought that girl, she did all right on the feet with her too.
She did.
So I don't know. Maybe
She's
it's gonna
really
be all right.
well-rounded. She's just not as explosive as a young Jacek.
she's been looking
But she's
better.
extremely well-rounded and like tricky. She'll pull out stuff. You're like, what? I don't even know what you just did.
Yeah.
She's been looking better since that fight too.
Yeah.
After that fight is when she fought Karate Hottie, because she lost to that fight.
She looked really good.
Yeah.
She
looked
lost that
really
fight
good.
versus
Yeah,
Kevin.
and then she took like a year and a half off.
And
or
she
something,
came
and
back
then
looking just like beast mode,
Because Karate Hottie was on a streak, I think, right? She was killing it. Karate.
Yeah,
Just
Karate
kidding.
Hottie.
That's
I-
it,
Michelle
Karate
Watterson.
That's
But
it.
I call it Karate Hottie. You can't have a
Karate
nickname like
Hottie.
that
It's a
and
good
can't
nickname.
expect people not
Yeah.
to say it.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Karate Hottie.
Yeah. Jeff, you looking forward to that fight?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if you could chime in. That's not a conflict of
Yes,
interest?
we talk about this all the time
Is
as
it a
employees,
conflict?
and it gets harder and harder for me the longer I'm here,
Right.
because you develop relationships with
Yeah.
fighters outside of the octagon. You get to know who they are as people, their
100%.
families, and inevitably, almost every fight you watch now, it's like you feel so bad for the person that loses, to see that career trajectory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go
exactly.
down.
It's brutal, and I feel so like I like everybody, most people. So like it's hard for me to really.
pick the
I
fights
mean,
and
I
stuff,
I
right?
do pick because I feel like, hey, listen, I got 3 kids, man. This is my job. You know what I mean? I'm not here to be like, well, I hope it's a good fight. I got to talk, but I'm not. It's not like I'm picking. I'm choosing anybody. I'm just giving my honest.
You give a
assessment.
true, honest opinion.
I
no
have
matter
to.
What?
Well,
Even
no, not
you-
if it's. Well, listen.
Not if
If
it's
you're
our own
fighting,
team.
I'm going to say, look, I'm biased.
He's
Oh my God.
never
of course.
picked against you. So.
I can't. No, I'm not going to be like, yo, I'm working Weidman's corner, but hey, man, I don't know.
Ain't looking
If
too
I-
good.
that's a problem. But I'm very honest with that.
everybody else.
So if I had to really pick one, like with a gun to my head, I'd say Joanna. But Thug Rose has that chance for that
I'm
upset.
curious. I'm really
That's what
curious
keeps you on
for-
your seat.
I'm curious with the main
Edge of your
event
seat.
with the
Talk
pick.
to me.
Well,
I want. Oh,
no,
we
because
already
it's,
went out.
know
because
what
it's
you
one of those
think,
weird
too.
things for us.
Are we
I
easing
mean,
into it? No, it's not
should
weird
we-
for me.
it's not weird for you.
I'll talk about it. I'm not close with. I like George. And
But it's
I
just
like-
weird
I like-
because
yeah.
Danaher's your boy, and he works with
He is.
Danaher. So,
Yeah.
but you did fight
But you-
GSP, so it kind of does make a.
But I like George.
I know you
Yeah,
do.
so I
He's,
know-
he's such a nice guy. So
If
who-
he
who
just beat
doesn't?
me
Yeah.
up, it's one thing, but we beat each other up.
Yeah.
I like
Oh.
my fight better though. Don't watch the rematch. Anybody listening? Watch the first one, UFC 69 on Fight Pass. Anyway, but
never
since
heard
then
you
he
say
changed
that.
the game though. He changed his game.
Yeah.
100%. Big props to John Danaher for really help changing his game.
Yeah.
But we'll go right into that. I was going to talk about. I was
no,
going to
let's
talk about
walk-
Cody
no,
and
walk-
TJ.
let's-
We're going to keep
no,
people in suspense.
You're the host here. I was
Cody
curious.
and DJ,
yeah.
TJ. That's a phenomenal fight. What do you think of that?
That honestly, I think that's the fight of the night.
What do you think of that fight?
I remember when Dillashaw won the title from Henan Brow and then beat him again. And that kid he changed our sport. The way he was able to change the direction on his feet, his movement from southpaw to orthodox was something I tried to do in the gym. Like he definitely, inspired me. I know he did that for a lot of other people. And then, like, he hasn't. It's not like he got killed by anybody. I mean, he lost a close one to Dominic Cruz. It could have won either way.
Yeah,
and now
close.
he's been winning. I think behind the scenes. And now all of a sudden he's back against Cody Garbrandt, who like he has so much hype behind him.
Well, he got that history
and we
too.
kind of forgetting about Dillashaw, who was the champion not too long ago. So it's I don't know. It's
what do you take? You're under the hot lights, Chris Weidman.
Man,
you can't be on the fence on UFC Unfiltered.
It's kind of hurt. It's a tough one because I feel like Dillashaw's a little smaller. I feel like size obviously doesn't matter in the fight when two guys are really very similarly matched up. But Dillashaw brings more to the table. I think he's more well-rounded. I feel like Garbrandt's more just powerful hands and good on his feet, and Dillashaw has a little bit more than that.
You're working this out in your head.
I'm thinking.
You're looking. You
know what? I'm going with I love both guys. They're awesome. That's why it's always tough. But I'm gonna go with Dillashaw.
Are you going with Dillashaw?
I think I'm gonna go with Dillashaw.
You know what's very interesting about this fight is that they must have sparred with each other. I don't know how many times, but tons, a lot of times.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the clip of Justin, the coach.
Justin Buchholz.
Of course, Justin Buchholz. Yeah, from Alpha Flight. That's a fucking comic book from Team Alpha Male.
It is. It was like they were like Alpha Flight was like the Canadian X-Men.
I can't believe you know what GSP's comic.
Why do you think she's my co-host? She knows all this stuff.
This is why he calls me,
But they're both very extremely confident. And they both sparred with each other a lot. So you had to be thinking, if they worked with each other so many times, one of them has to be like, all right, I know what goes down in sparring.
I know.
Unless they feel something's drastically changed, or unless it was that competitive, the sparring. Because TJ's
Garbrandt came out and said that. Garbrandt was saying that he knocked out Dillashaw.
I saw that tape.
Right? Yeah.
Justin showed me.
Oh, is that what you're?
But listen, anything can happen and get caught in sparring. And TJ's defense, he's saying, all right, man, that's great. You caught me in sparring, but not for nothing. How many times is no tape of me doing what I'm doing to you in sparring? So that doesn't really mean much. And TJ does not look. It's not that he's a little concerned, but he's very, very confident.
Yeah. And you take more risks in sparring, which leave you more open too.
It's true.
And he has a lot to prove in this fight. Like his back is against the wall. Everyone hates him from Alpha Male. They're talking crap. He left with Ludwig. There's so much
drama.
There's a lot of drama.
A lot of drama
in
this fight.
Prove.
I like the drama. I don't mind it.
You know what I will say though is that I think Cody is a better boxer in the pocket.
Definitely.
But I think TJ moves better and kicks a lot more. And I don't really remember seeing Cody do much kicking. I mean, it just could be my bad memory, but I think Cody might have more power in his hands, and I think his close quarter boxing is better. He throws a lot of combinations, where Dillashaw will be like up, down, step to the side, low kick. When I was at Dwayne's and we were working on kickboxing combinations, I was in awe of his use of movement and like just up, down, and then get out of the way and then throw as you're moving out of the way. And I was just like, wow, that just like you said, Chris, I think it did change the sport. It made us, we went, okay, we need jiu-jitsu, we need wrestling. Now the striking has to get better, and now we're at this phase where the striking and the wrestling, and it's all coming together.
Yeah.
We're at that phase in MMA.
Look how Cody dealt with the movement of Dominic Cruz. I mean, look how he dealt with that. Not only did he deal with it, that dude was breakdancing in there and making it look cool. It wasn't exactly Rashad Evans on freaking that tough season number 2
when he was doing everyone crazy.
When he was doing some stuff at the. I mean, I wouldn't do that at the club. That's like me at the club. Rashad Evans would just get hit, and he's putting his head back and forth, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? But Cody was doing some shit that would make people in awe, man.
Yeah,
I don't know, he's doing the robot. I don't know what it's called.
It was cool.
It was
the wave. It's the wave.
Listen, he
got him emotional. He got Dominic Cruz emotional for sure.
Both those guys know how to move, and they know how to blend it. I'm going to give it to Cody because I feel like just in a fight where they both might be landing, he does have that power,
Definitely
man.
does,
he puts people to sleep.
That's the X factor, I think.
TJ, he pours it on over time, and he does blend it well with the takedowns. I'm gonna. It's very.
And it's a 5-round fight.
It's a close fight. But I'm gonna give it to the champ on
knockout or a close fight, and he just hit him with some good.
Oh, now you're putting now I'm feeling the hot lights.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel within 5 rounds, I'm going to say that Cody might be able to catch him. Yeah, I think that with the power, with those little gloves,
definitely is powerful.
Shoot, man. I mean that's now. Listen, Now we're getting to the big fight. Wait, did you pick? Did you pick? Would you pick? With that?
I don't know.
Phoenix? No?
This is why we love this sport.
You don't know? So are you
going
to be on the fence with it?
You know how I know? 30 seconds into round 1 when I see their attitude, their demeanor, and how they're figuring each other out.
Go ahead. So you're gonna make a
30 seconds into
we gotta
the first
wait till round 1 to hear this.
Yes.
So you're not gonna tell us right now?
No.
You know, all right, good. Thank you, Phoenix. I'm glad you're here, Phoenix. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Thank you.
We thought about it, but we didn't.
Phoenix. Way to
Why did you give him these controls?
Way to stay on the fence, Phoenix.
I got tired of
applause.
I got tired of getting yelled at.
Listen.
Yeah, okay.
Listen. And what's this? See, this is the one.
Let me hear that
What does
one.
this say right here?
Weidman.
Weidman. What?
Weidman applause.
That's the what? Yeah. That's a nice applause.
Why does Weidman get the what?
Why? Because you want to hear the longo applause? Yeah. You call that the slow. It could have been called the slow clap.
Perfect.
But that's the effing Ray Longo.
I love it.
Clean up my language when there's only a couple minutes left. But listen, really quick, the GSP versus Michael Bisping fight. I know people are saying, and you're one of, I don't know if you were one of them because I know you want to get back at that belt, but I love this fight. I love the lead up to this fight. You got guys that are two characters that are polar opposites from the shit talking Michael Bisping, who's fucking phenomenal with the stuff he's saying. I told you about that picture I saw of those guys on the Instagram, and you just see Michael Bisping chime in on the Instagram underneath with like just nerds, and it's all of them like that. They got
on Instagram,
they're on their rash guards, like giving a thumbs up and shit. He's just like nerds. Michael Bisping kills me, man. I think he is freaking hysterical, and I love his. See, that's where it's a natural shit talking. Because he does. That's just him.
Yeah.
You know,
he's not doing anything new.
Dude, I think it's hysterical. What do you? I want to hear. Listen. You're the former champ. I want to hear.
You too, man. I really want to hear you. Can you
not as much
first?
as you though. I didn't defend my shit.
I got to start first.
You're more important. Tell me, what do you think about this fight? Who's taking this, Chris Weidman?
It's a hard one for me to pick. Well, there's a lot of question marks. Number one, GSP's been out for like 4 years, so we don't know what GSP's coming back. He's coming back in a weight class above the weight class that he was, fighting in forever.
Yeah.
Going against a bigger guy, he really did win a lot of his fights based on strength and wrestling. Ooh. And now he's going against a bigger guy. Is he going to be able to do that? I mean, honestly, if I had to pick and put all my money, I'd probably say Bisping.
But that's your pick.
But I'm a Fox analyst for this fight.
Oh, so you have to be.
No. So I watched like a fight or two.
Fence.
I watched a fight or two of Bisping recently, and I saw his fight with Tim Kennedy. And Tim Kennedy, I think, is a bigger, stronger wrestler than GSP. But he was able to get to that front leg pretty easy and walk him to the cage and get takedowns. GSP can do that. So I could kind of see both ways a little bit. But I would have to put my money on Bisping.
Ooh, all right. He's picking Michael Bisping. What do
George
you think?
by
Only
leg lock?
here on UFC Unfiltered.
George by leg lock.
Because the heel hooks. He's been working with Tonin.
I love judo. And I just saw him do this judo throw. And I know that he's like back to his old karate days. And like I came from karate. I have a deep belief in karate if it's utilized correctly.
You like Wonder Boy?
I do. How can I not?
Oh shit.
And,
we have to talk about that really quick too.
And so I do think Bisping is bigger, but I just think George is like a mad scientist with his team that he'll figure something out. Because he's always been able to win by figuring something out. Even with those last few fights with Condit and Hendricks, which some people say he lost, he's still kind of like, okay, I've got a minute left. I'm going to have to score something right now. I think he knows how to use the scorecards. I think he knows how to figure people out. And I think he's a true martial artist. And I think within 4 years, he's been doing his math and science. But Michael Bisping is bigger, and he moves well. When I looked at him against Rockhold, I was like, wow, man, he really steps to the side well. He's got a nice short left hook. Like,
all right, devil's advocate, who you picking?
I said George by leg lock. George, something on the ground by George.
George by leg lock.
Yeah.
George by
we also have to remember this.
By
and wait, what if I'm right? All right. If
I don't know, listen.
If I'm right,
Jeff, I'm sorry you have to deal with this.
If I'm right,
that might be. Listen, by leg lock, it might happen. I don't know. I don't know about the leg lock thing. If it does happen, I'm 100%
something
an ass
on the ground by
because
George.
you called it.
Something on the ground by George.
All right. That's like somebody saying something standing up by somebody. Phoenix, you got to get off this damn fence right now. How's he winning?
I'm gonna say he's gonna some type of submission.
Okay.
And I have to go back to the Bisping thing. It's hard to tell because Bisping also did pretty much. I thought he kind of lost his last fight against Dan Henderson. That was Dan Henderson's last fight. He's 46 years old or whatever he was, and he did. I thought. I mean, he won, but it was that close. I mean, can GSP beat a Dan Henderson at 46 years old?
Let me throw this in there. Like you said, Tim Kennedy, and that just came to me the other day. Yeah. Besides that, Rashad Evans, it was at 205, but then they both went down, so it's not like Rashad Evans is a huge 205er. And also, who am I forgetting? Chael Sonnen. All three guys beat Michael Bisping by out-grappling him.
Yes.
George,
okay, so now Phoenix is somewhat coming to the...
No, but not the submission, not leg locks.
Well, no, listen, that's not the point. The point is, nobody was able to do anything to him down there. He got back up just to get taken down again, to get back up.
Oh, Bisping?
To get taken down.
Yeah, his jiu-jitsu's not terrible.
Well, but he got out-hustled is what I'm saying. So now you're dealing with George, and George, he worked with a lot of guys that are heavier, going from feet to floor sparring. He's had many rounds in Albuquerque, which a bunch of guys were out there that were middleweights or higher. And I remember those guys saying in interviews, George would do very well in that weight class. You know what I mean? So, hey, listen, I'm saying based on that and based on George not being stupid enough to just sit there and go punch the punch, he knows how that works out sometimes. I'm only kidding. This doesn't come back to me, Chris Weidman.
We've seen smaller guys out-wrestle bigger guys. Frankie Edgar does it all the time.
Yeah, but there's certain types. Yeah, Frankie Edgar.
And for 5 rounds, the cardio that you need to do that, I don't know.
But George has done that 5 rounds. And you could say, but...
Does he have the most time in the octagon? That's
Frankie Edgar you're talking about.
No, wasn't that his stat? He had the most because he had all his championship rounds.
Who, George?
No, I think it's Frankie, and then I think it's Bisping. Actually, it's number 2, right? If I'm not mistaken.
So he does 5 rounds too, but George could win. George wins rounds like that. He plays safe. He's dealing with a bigger guy. Sometimes bigger guys, and you know this from grappling. You get them down, they're easier to control.
Yeah.
Then sometimes these squirmy little fuckers with the short legs.
Oh my God!
You got
I hate going to small guys.
Listen, you had he fought Thiago Alves before USADA. Is all I'm saying. And you thought, and that dude wasn't getting tired, that Brazilian, and he kept getting up, and he was a powerhouse. He fought guys like John Fitch. He fought.
That was so long ago, Alves. Though it was
again,
UFC 100.
Well,
that was a long time ago.
I'm picking George St. Pierre by fighting the way George St. Pierre fights and by just closing the distance, getting him down up against the cage. He could take him down in the center. He could add in some strikes. Bisping is an aggressive fighter. He comes forward, and that might make him think, you come forward. You start losing a round by getting outpointed. All right, now it's round 2, and the guy's doing it. It starts getting stressful.
Yeah.
It starts making you not want to pull the trigger because you're getting taken down. So I'm definitely going to be on the edge of my seat with this one. But I am going to go on record saying I think GSP will outpoint him for 5 rounds.
I'm going GSP leg lock, down to her death squat for life.
You flipping? It's all right.